What's up everybody? Jay here with Jay's Backyard Cooking. And today we're gonna hang some beef dino ribs in the barrel. Let's get into it. So I'm not really gonna show you how to set it up. I have plenty of videos on how to do that. So what I am gonna show is the prep, how we're gonna hang it, and then we'll go from there. All right, back inside. I got the chimney going. I'm gonna let that go for about 15 minutes before I dump it into the barrel, and then we'll get this ready in the meantime. So again, beef dino ribs. I got these for right at $36. They are 4.5 pounds. Why do I have this drill, you might ask? Because we're gonna hang it. In order to hang it, I'm gonna drill holes through the bone on the thinner part of it to keep that side away from the fire. Then we'll hang it in there once it's ready. So I'm gonna actually do it through the shrink wrap. I don't know why, that's just the way that I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do 2 on either ends so that they're hanging this way. Just like that. In case you're wondering, I did wash these with soap and water before I used it. All right, now we'll get that out of the way, and then we'll cut this open and wash the ribs, make sure no bone fragments or anything stayed left behind on the meat. Get this washed up real quick. We'll pat it dry with some paper towels. On these here, I'm gonna use a binder. Really no specific reason why. I just feel like that W sauce would go good on it. I'm not gonna trim it at all. I'm gonna throw it on the fire just the way it is. And we're gonna let it go. We're actually gonna treat this like a brisket. I'm gonna run a temperature probe through it. And we're gonna get the internal to about 160, 165. Then we'll pull it off. We'll wrap it with butcher paper. And then we're probably gonna finish it off in the Phoenix. Or the Traeger, not sure yet. Let me get this hook through here. Just like that. Get this other one. Right there. Actually, I'm gonna run this one this way. And then you'll see once I put it on that I'll probably just hang them from 2 of the rebar, just like this. So, wash my hands up. Like I said, I'm not trimming anything. I'm gonna let it go in the barrel, just the way it is. Again, binder, W sauce, and garlic powder, salt, and pepper. Let me get a glove on so we can pat down the binder. We'll get that all mixed in, all patted down on all the sides. Oh, that W sauce smells good. If you haven't tried it yet, get you some. Salt, all the ends. Like I said, using garlic this time, garlic powder. Get all the ends. Back side, this side, over here, and then with the pepper. Whoop. Flip this around. You cover that up, because if you don't see it, it didn't happen. That is it. Let's take it outside. All right, once you pour the charcoal in there, like I've said in my previous videos, it's ready. It's ready to drop or hang the meat and whatever you plan on doing. So I already have the probe for the meat in here. I'm charging up the Inkbird right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this ran through the hole. That way I don't have to worry about it later. And I'll get you a close-up of this in a little bit, but I'm just gonna drop this in, hang it on either end. Oh, let me flip that around. That way the temperature gauge is hanging out on this side. And then this is basically what we're looking at. So I have the other probe too inside. I'm gonna bring it out, get it plugged up here in a little bit. And then, like I said, I hung this side out. And we're gonna let that ride. Like I said, we're gonna let this go till internal temp of about 160, 165, maybe 170. And then at that point, I'll figure out what I wanna do. Either use the Traeger or use the Phoenix to finish off the cook at that point. Okay, we're showing a temperature, an internal temperature of 165. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out. I went ahead and decided that I'm gonna finish it off in the Traeger. Let's get them out. Let's get them wrapped up in the butcher paper. Got nice color, nice pullback. Use your PPE, guys, even with these gloves on, these cotton gloves. Hooks are still pretty hot. But look at that pullback. Nice and juicy. Look at this. That is beautiful. I'm gonna get these wrapped up. Like I said, we're gonna get them put in the Traeger. Normally, if I had beef tallow again, I wanted to treat this just like a brisket. If I had beef tallow, I would pour beef tallow all over it, but I don't. So we're working with what we got. It's straight rib. Hopefully me not trimming it will help out a lot. Just like that, it's going into the Traeger. So again, the barrel held around 250. I think when I pulled it, it was running about 257, almost 260. The Traeger, I have it set at 260, no temperature probe. I'm gonna let that go for probably at least an hour and a half before I check it. What we're gonna shoot for is probe tender or around 200 degrees. At that point, I'll put it in the cooler, let it rest for about an hour, and we're gonna eat good tonight. All right, I stabbed the ribs a little while ago. They were reading at 190 on the thermopin, so we're gonna go ahead and pull them out and put them in the cooler because they were probe tender. So we're gonna get them out, put them in the cooler. We're gonna let those rest for about an hour before we cut into them. They'll continue to cook it while they're in the cooler, so I'm not too worried about the temperature. All right, here we go. You can see where the meat pulled back on all the sides here. See if we pass the pull test. Look at that. Nice and clean. It's exactly what I was hoping for. Let's get it cut open, see what the inside looks like. Look at that. Woo!
That's a lot of grease.
So yes, there you have it, folks. Bone came cleanly out of the meat. Nice pullback. It's dinner time. If you like what you saw here, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Like it and comment. Anything helps. We'll see you next time. You know, folks, there are afternoons that rise above the ordinary and take on the shape of something almost sacred. Picture it, the pit barrel standing proudly in the backyard like a cast iron cathedral, its smoke unfurling into the sky like incense burning in a residence chapel. The Evan Williams in your glass doesn't simply burn, it converses with you, whispering oak and caramel, inviting you to lean back and let the breeze carry your worries away. Meanwhile, college football flickers on the iPad like some modern stained glass window, a spectacle of ritual and devotion in its own right. And then the ribs, not just ribs, but Dino Ribs. A cut so elemental, so unapologetically grand, it feels almost barbaric to consume, yet refined in its execution. That smoke ring, delicate as a painter's brushstroke, the juice running down your arm as though the very essence of the animal were reminding you, this is what flavor means. Each bite becomes less a meal and more a meditation, a communion with fire, time, and patience. Perhaps that's the lesson here. We spend our lives chasing greatness in lofty places, in careers, in ambitions, in accolades. Yet sometimes, greatness arrives humbly in the backyard with a bourbon in one hand and rib juice in the other. A reminder that to live well is not always to live grandly, but to taste deeply and to savor completely. So until next time, keep the grills hot and the seasoning simple.